What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be sharing some helpful tips and the best cinematic settings to have your GoPro footage look like this. Taking a step back from the footage that I just showed you, there are many different things that make this footage look different than the footage that would come right out of the box if you got a new GoPro. So generally I shoot all of my footage in 120 frames per second. That allows me the ability to slow down my footage up to 5 times and still maintain that clarity and smooth speed without having any breaks in my footage. I would be aware of shooting in 240 frames per second since you're not able to have your frame on linear. That super view gives that GoPro fisheye lens that just shows that you're using a GoPro or you're using some sort of action camera. Secondly, you'll see those matte bars. So those are the crop bars that take up roughly 12% of the top and the bottom of your image. It gives you that cinematic feel. It's what you would see if you're watching a movie. And it automatically makes your footage look more professional. As for resolution, I usually shoot everything in 1920 by 1080. That allows me to shoot 120 frames per second, sometimes 240 frames per second. I never really go higher than that except for time lapses. I shoot my time lapses in 4K resolution. That allows you to zoom out, zoom in, go left to right movement. Another thing that I did, so you'll see that the color looks different than an out-of-the-box GoPro camera. GoPro calls it something a little bit different. It's a flat profile, but it's called Pro Tune. So there'll be a PT on the side of your GoPro. And make sure that you have that checked if you're going to do anything with a non-linear editing software like Premiere Pro or even iMovie or something like that. You would want to do the color grading and give more color and have more opportunity to change your image after shooting. Moving forward to the settings that I use, I will also provide all of these in the description if you want to sit down with your new GoPro. So the frame is linear. Try to always shoot on linear. That'll take away that fisheye lens. Shutter speed, I always keep on auto. Your ISO minimum at 100, your maximum at 800. I always keep my white balance on auto, just in case you're walking into cloud cover, then a forest, and then to a dark room. You don't want to change that every time that you walk into a new setting. Your sharpness, I keep at medium. It is very important that you don't have a high sharpness. It'll destroy your image and you won't be able to do any color grading in post-production. Then moving back to the color profile, I would put in flat. Again, that's Pro Tune for a GoPro. That allows you to color grade. It'll be more dynamic range when you're actually shooting. And then finally, your audio, I just keep at medium. Another very important tip with the GoPro, and I've learned from my experience here, is knowing what sort of micro SD cards are capable for your GoPro and the frame rate that you're shooting on. So about 2 months ago, I was in London, and for the first time I tried to shoot in 240 frames per second. I didn't understand micro SD cards at that point, and as soon as I switched from 120 frames per second to 240 frames per second, it gave me an input-output error on my SD card. And none of the footage that I had from 2 or 3 days of shooting in London were able to be recovered through any sort of data recovery software, and that is because I did not have a fast enough speed on my micro SD card. So what I use is a micro SD Ultra Extreme, and that is a speed 10. That will work for any speed that you shoot on, any frame rate that you shoot on, and any resolution that you shoot on. Thank you so much for watching our video today. If this helped you out in any way, please hit the subscribe button and smash that like button. I will be sharing different tutorials on GoPro settings or answering any questions. So if you have any of those, please put them in the comment box. I'll get back to you. I absolutely will. And please check out our new cinematic videos. We have just released one called A Life of Wonder and Dreams, and that is an anniversary film of mine and my girlfriend's, Lauren's, 3-year anniversary. And then before that was our last Vancouver film. So stay tuned. Thank you.